Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Dr. Janice Hooker Fortman with Relationship Matters. I hope everyone is doing great today. I am. I am blessed and highly favored. So, what's going on in your world today? It's a lot going on in mine. It's all kinds of relationships happening. I'm maintaining my positive relationships and really trying to do something with those toxic relationships. As a matter of fact, um, like they say, you're supposed to get rid of your toxic relationships, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to get on my soapbox for just a minute. I want to say all of you out there who are viewing, get your vaccination. Get your vaccination. We are not starting, but we're in another pandemic. It seemed like things were going well for a while, but now here we have a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And most of the people who are getting COVID and are ill are children. They're children. Children should not have to go through this because of us adults. Now, I know there are a lot of you out there that's, don't want to get a vaccine and, for all kinds of reasons. And you have your reasons. And, I don't agree with them, but, you have your reasons. But even if you don't want to get it for yourself, think about your children, your grandchildren, just people who you might be around. You might be a carrier. You might not even be ill. And now I know people are saying, well, people who have the vaccine, they're still getting it. Yeah, but they're not dying from it. So if you can, get your vaccine. So I'm off my soapbox. Well, let's talk about this guest that I have today. When she consented to be my guest, I thought, ooh, woo, woo. Like that commercial you see when the girl says, ooh, woo, woo. And that's what I said, woo, woo, woo. My guest today is none other than Telishia Berry. Telishia is the publisher of Courageous Woman magazine. So let me tell you about Courageous Woman magazine. It's an inspirational publication that highlights extraordinary women in business and entertainment. I don't know why I haven't been in there. I have to talk to her about that. But anyway, it's in its 10th year, and it continues to be a wonderful platform for women. It inspires women to live their dreams, to launch their business, and to motivate others. She's also the publisher of Courageous Man magazine and Authors Who Launch magazine. This girl is a powerhouse. She is the recipient of so many awards, including Women in Power, Phenomenal Woman Award, Resolution Award, Publishing Excellence Award, and Best Media Platform Award. As I said, this marks her 10th year in publishing over 1,000 stories, articles, and more than 100 cover stories. I am going to bring to you this phenomenal woman, this courageous woman, Miss Ms. Telishia Berry. Hi, Telishia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
That's
Enjoying the
good. That's
sunshine here in California.
oh, so what part of California?
I'm about 30 minutes from Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. All right. You know, I love LA,
Mhm.
and I tell you why. And you probably know about this place in LA. It's in downtown LA. It's called the Alley.
Absolutely. I was just telling my sister that. I was here to visit. I'm like, I'm going to take you to the alleys.
And for those who don't know, tell them about the Alley.
Well, the alley is a district where you can find anything from furniture to clothes to jewelry at wholesale prices. And it's a place where people who own boutiques and stores, they buy from there from all over the world, and people like us that live here can go there and take advantage of the prices as well. So
Well, my girlfriend, I have a cousin who lives in LA. And so whenever we come to LA, she knows that we want to go to the Alley. The first time we went to the Alley, we had to buy luggage to bring home all of the stuff we bought. So now we have a piece of luggage, a nice size piece of luggage, because it's empty, because we know we're going to fill it up with stuff from the Alley. The people out
absolutely.
there, it's a shame. It's a
Mhm.
shame. And because of COVID, we haven't been to the Alley. And the thing is, what I like about the Alley is because you're on the West Coast, a lot of new fashion comes out of that. And so when we come back with things, people are, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? And so then we wait. And then when it comes here to the Midwest, we said, okay, that's old. We have to put that aside. But anyway,
Mhm.
so you are a publisher extraordinaire. I want you to tell us about your journey to being an award-winning publisher. What what did you do before you got into this field?
Oh my. Before I got into this field, well, one thing, I was always a writer. I was just kind of a kid that always wrote things, basically because I was the only child raised by my grandmother. And for some reason, I occupied myself by making a lot of noise and re-singing or rewriting commercials on the TV that were on TV. And she would always say, "You keep up so much noise to be one kid. Why don't you get a pencil and write?" And I'm like, "What do I write, Grandma?" So she
Okay.
said, "I don't care. Just be quiet." So that's how I got started. I started just writing and doodling, and then I wrote poetry. And then I began to write plays. And I became an actress actually in local theater. And I got opportunities to travel all over the country performing as I got older. And that was just something I absolutely loved to do. And once I finished doing that, I wanted to produce my own stage productions. So I did that for many years. And I when I wrote my first novel, I wanted to write something that wasn't necessarily have to go on stage, and I can make the characters do exactly what I needed them to do,
Okay.
and not have to deal with actors. And I was, so I wrote my first novel, and that was the beginning of my life in entertainment. And now I have kids who are all in entertainment. Moved to California. My son's an actor. He's 30 now. I've been acting professionally since he was 12. So
Wow.
it's been a journey from acting myself to being a stage mom to being, now producing the publication. I started the magazine because I had a blog. The blog was called Courageous Woman as well. And I was just looking for motivation. I was dealing with some things in my life, and I wanted motivation and inspiration. And I love to read, and I couldn't find enough information that would resonate with my spirit at the time. what I was dealing with. So I decided to create it, and it was the blog. And so I asked other women would they be interested in sharing their stories, and I decided to make that an online magazine. And my first
Okay.
cover story was Stacy Lattisaw, and I just called her.
Wow.
I said, "Can I tell your story?" And she said, "Yeah." So she was my
Okay.
very first cover story, almost
Wow.
10 years ago. And so it's been a blessing. We have had some amazing women on our cover, from women who have started with nothing, making 6, 7 figures, to celebrities like Vanessa Bell Calloway, Jody Watley, so many, Wendy Raquel, and so many amazing women that just simply said yes because they understood about being courageous and the journeys in life that they've had to live. They wanted to share their stories. So I've just been so blessed to have created this publication based on my own pain and stress. And sometimes that's just how it happens. Sometimes we create
Okay.
a whole business or something that you need, something that other people, it wasn't about me. I was going through something, but once I created the publication, it was about these women all over the world, because we have readers that are in the UK, they're in everywhere. So it's been a blessing. So I'm on the journey. I'm still continuing to the journey. So we've expanded as well.
Okay. So now you brought up something that I'm going to ask. So you said that you started this publication out of your pain.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you going through?
I was going through a unhealthy relationship, and
Okay.
I needed to find myself. Being a mom, was a mom of 4 and had been married over 20 years, and I was just going through a lot in that. And
Okay.
I was seeking God for sure, and just trying to recover and find myself. And in the
Okay.
process, I wanted to help other women, and so
Oh,
this is
okay.
how it happened.
Now, did you have a mentor or someone that you patterned yourself after, or a coach that helped you along this journey?
The Lord, the
Okay.
Lord, the Lord says, "Go forth and be courageous and not be afraid." So that was my first. But I've had a lot of women in my life who are business women, women in entertainment, definitely influenced by Oprah.
Oh yeah.
So definitely, a lot of women have come into my life. When I was going through the challenges in my life, I just prayed and I asked God for help, and He sent me
Okay.
help in the
Okay.
form of women of God. So women, I would meet women, they just want to pray for me. They
Okay.
became my friends, and they kind of helped me, encouraged me, empowered me, and prayed for me, cried with me, and they said, "Okay, now it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go and do what God called you to do." And so that's how it kind of happened. So when I think of those women, I see them as soldiers, because they came for me and they helped me, and I will
Wow.
always be thankful for
Well,
those women.
I was going to say you had the best mentor, coach, inspiration that anyone can have. Yeah, I
Mhm.
tell people all the time. I did a presentation on and I entitled it "Are You Listening?" Because when if you listen, like you listened, and you went on that journey to publish, to be such an outrageous outrageously excellent publisher, but a lot of people don't listen, so in other words, publishing this magazine and putting courageous women in the forefront so people can meet them and know their journeys is your purpose.
Mhm. And I didn't
And
know that. I didn't know that
yeah,
until I was going through myself. And sometimes that's when you find your purpose, when you are going
exactly.
through. But you got to keep going. I keep telling people you can't go over it, you can't go around it. You got to go through it. And so I had to go through it. And I had to look back and like, wow, if I hadn't have gone through it, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to serve
Right,
the way I serve. I wouldn't be able to do it. So
right.
that's
Now,
just how it is sometimes.
okay, okay. So what goes into publishing a magazine? To me, I know nothing about publishing a magazine. So is it different in writing a book and publishing a magazine? I'm just trying to put these two things together.
Absolutely. It's a lot of
Okay.
work. It's a lot of work. I work pretty much 24/7. I'm trying to, scale back on working as much and spend some more quality time for myself. I'm learning to do that more. But absolutely, it's a lot of work. From the beginning, I knew that it was going to be a lot of work. I had worked for publications before, but
Okay.
not in this capacity where I got to do a lot of work. I wore a lot of hats in the beginning. And I had to learn. I had my educational background is communication, so I had to just kind of parlay everything that I learned in business, working in the entertainment. All of it just kind of came together to make it. Just had to stir it up. God said, "Stir up your gifts," and so I had to stir them up. When I started the publication, it was just a blog, and I had left a marriage, and I was ready to move forward and do things that I wanted to do in my life, and I was in a restart. I left everything and I had to restart my life from scratch. And so
Okay.
I asked a friend, what do I need to do to start my publication? I want to go from online to a print publication. And he said, you're going to need some money. You're going to need at least $30,000, so I'm
How
going to
much?
restart
Wait. You said how much?
at least a minimum $30,000 to start my publication. And I was in a restart of my life. I didn't have $30,000. I looked in my account and I was missing some zeros. So, but I'm a believer, and I know when God gives you something, that He's gonna make provisions for you to make it happen. And so I had to hold on to that, even though I was going through. I was trying to figure out life. Trying to figure out being a single mom suddenly, and I had all this weight on me, but something in me said, you gotta go. It is time to go. And so I took that $30 and I found a way.
Wait. You were missing a whole lot of zeros.
Yes, I was missing some zeros. So, but I believed, and I believed I could make
Okay.
it happen. I had new graphic design. I created my brochure during the day. I went out, I put my corporate gear on. I went out and I talked about the business. I actually had got a new job as a phlebotomist, but I knew that was temporary. Even though I
Okay.
love doing that work and working with patients, but I knew God was calling me for something higher. But I had to go through that. I had to stop being an entrepreneur for a minute, go back to work, start all over. And as I was out talking to people just believed in Courageous Woman. And I always tell people my life was like I was kind of like a superwoman, like kind of, because I had to go out in the morning time and wear my corporate gear and talk about the magazine, but I was on call as a phlebotomist. So I'd have to pull into the McDonald's parking lot, take off my corporate gear, put on my scrubs and go to work. And then I had to start all over the next day, but I believed that at some point God was it was all going to work out. I just had to keep pushing, believing that God said, be courageous and do it. And so I had to do it. So it's been 10 years and it's been an amazing journey. It's really been an amazing journey.
So how did you come up with the name of your magazine?
When I was going through, when I talked about the women of God, they told me, you got to be courageous. And
Okay.
it was a scripture. Joshua 1:9 says, go forth. Have I not commanded you to be courageous? So that is the scripture that is the foundation of Courageous Woman magazine.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. And you are very courageous. So
Oh, thank
how
you.
do you choose? Well, I know now you have staff. Gotta have staff. I know
Yeah,
you're not doing everything now.
No, at this time, no. We have designers, we have editors, because we also publish books. So we have a staff of editors, designers, and assistants and people to kind of help make it happen. I still do a lot of work, so I do need
Okay.
more help. But definitely, couldn't possibly do it all.
Okay. And the women who are in your magazine, not the cover stories, but which I'm going to ask you about a little later, but the women who are in your magazine, how do you choose them?
Well, a lot of the celebrities, we decide, we look at who they are and the journey that they have had, and if it kind of coincide with our message of inspiring women, then we contact them and say, hey, would you like to be part of Courageous Woman? And all of them have said yes. So it's that part, and then we promote women in business. We promote their products, their books, whether they have a brand that they need exposure, or event or something that it's a fee, it's a paid promotions. So those are the women that contact us, and they want to be a part of the publication to promote their products.
Okay. And that was a question I was going to ask you, and you already answered it, because I'm like, how did you meet Vanessa Bell Calloway and all the other celebs, Vivica Fox, but like you say, you just reach out to them.
Well, Vanessa, actually, my son played in a TV show with her, so he was her son in a TV show. So I met her there, and we run into each other all the time. And she's just a really cool, amazing person, just really, really cool. So we've actually had her on cover twice.
Okay, so your son, he was in a sitcom called Girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Played Jabari on Girlfriends.
Okay.
Played a lot of different things, but a lot of people remember Girlfriends.
Yeah, hear from that. From that. And your kids, your children, you said a little earlier about being a stage mom. Did you push them into being in entertainment, or is it just something that they decided they wanted to do?
No, I think it was something that they really just decided they wanted to do, because they grew up around it. When they were little, my ex-husband and I were producing gospel plays. So they were always around. They were always there. And, kind of that's just how they played. They played entertainment when they were little.
Okay.
And I think my son was in one of our productions. I think he got the bug. And I also used to teach drama for kids. I had a kids troupe. So we had, all of my kids were part of the troupe, and they kind of just caught the bug. So two of my daughters are they graduate from film school. So they are into producing and directing.
Girl, that's wonderful. So you have 4. You have boys and girls, or young men and young ladies.
Yes, you have all adults. Yes, and a grandchild. So, yes, I'm a grandma.
Okay, you know what? You are doing so much, and the more you talk, the more comes out as far as your journey is concerned. You've done a whole lot. Yeah, that is so wonderful. But Telishia, I have to do a commercial, and got to pay for the show. Absolutely. And so we will be right back with Telishia Berry in about maybe a minute and a half. See you in a minute and a half.
All right.
happy that your relationship with your daughter has improved. Well, we are back with Telishia Berry. So I'd like to say to you, if you would like to advertise on the show with eye-catching videos and increase your visibility, you can contact us at 1-877-667-7325 for details, or you can email me directly, janfornow125@gmail.com. We do all of our promos and commercials in-house. Now we are back with Telishia Berry. Now, I told you we have audience participation, and so I just see this one from Sandy Barney Ennis. And she says, I may not be famous right now, but I am a courageous woman. I know that God has something special in store for me. And she says, today you have inspired me. I'm excited. Joshua 1:9, verse 9, chapter 1, verse 9. Watch out, here I come, world. I'm here.
Yes, wow. Go for it, Sandy.
Go for it, Sandy. You are a courageous woman. I know you are. I know you are. So now that you have, I know it was probably difficult when you had your children at home, and then you were also trying to establish this business. Now you are, I would say you're an empty nester, so to speak. Now, doesn't that make, well, wait a minute, what are you doing like, no?
Yeah, well, you know how that goes, so.
Yeah, look, I do understand. I just have one son. But I'm like, when are you going to get married? So number one, you can stop calling me. and number two, like, go over there, But anyway, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. So now you have published several authors. You do that. Also, now, is that something that you do on your own? You have a team that does that? And how do you choose what books to publish?
Well, we definitely have a team. That's just another division of Courageous Woman is publishing the books. We publish a lot of anthologies, work with a lot of women who are not quite ready to write a whole book, but they have a story. And so we put them in one of our anthologies, and they are only responsible for telling or sharing a chapter. So I do that because a lot of times it gets them all revved up and they inspired by just writing their chapter and being part of a book. And our goal is always to make them best-selling authors. And so we have a lot of fun with our co-authors of our anthologies. And now I'm teaching them how to take their chapter and turn it into a full book. So it's been a journey and a lot of fun with that. And we also publish individual authors who might want to get their books published. So we kind of just do the work for them. And actually we have a boot camp coming up so that I'll teach them how to just do this so they can do it on their own.
Oh my goodness. Now you said earlier that you are also an author.
Yes.
Eh,
My first novel was The Baptist Junkie.
Now what
Christian.
was that about? I
It's
love that title.
it's a Christian fiction drama. So if you like, it's kind of like the church meets the neighborhood, the hood, you know. So it's a real life story based on real people I know, real family members, and it's just it's a family story, you know. A
Okay.
woman whose journey was she was raised in is in the 60s and 70s, so she was raised in the 60s and 70s, and she got pregnant out of wedlock, and her father said a couple words that sent her on a tailspin of he said she was ruined. And that's just, it wasn't that he wasn't a good father, he was a pastor himself, but that's what he knew and what he believed.
Yeah.
And it took her on a journey of poor choices and men and relationships and drugs and all of that, and when she really didn't know that she needed to just forgive herself, and that God was going to always be there. So the story is a journey of her life, and
Okay.
so now it's being shopped as a movie deal, so I'm super excited about that.
Oh, congratulations. That's
So
wonderful.
yeah, so hopefully we'll get that on the screen soon. So that was my dream when I wrote it. So
That is wonderful. So do you have some actresses in mind who you feel that you'd like to play that part of the Baptist junkie?
absolutely, you know, I got those characters already in my head. Yes, I just need a couple $1 million to pay them, but
Well,
definitely,
wait a minute. But won't he do it?
yes, I know he will do it. I told you I had $30, so I'm a believer, and that's something I have to tell myself. Like, okay, you know, you didn't have that, but God
Okay.
made a way. He made it happen. So I'm gonna keep believing that this journey is going to be a lot of things that don't seem like it's possible, but when you believe,
Right.
everything is possible. Everything
Right.
is possible.
So now that was your first book. So
Mhm.
you've written, how many other books have you written?
You know what? Somebody said we had 10. I really don't
That you
know.
wrote?
So so
Really?
they're part of our anthologies. I have a book. I have another book, my personal book that's coming up. Girl, get yourself together. So that
Oh,
is something I. It's just my journey of sharing and you know, telling women how to be better mentally, physically, spiritually, because that's something I had to say to myself. We had to learn to pray for ourselves and speak over ourselves and just talk and encourage ourselves when we don't have anyone else there. So that's what I had to tell myself. Girl, look, I talk to myself like I was my sister.
okay. All
I said
right.
every morning, I'm like, girl, okay, after you're pregnant, get yourself together. Get up, go do what you got to do. And no crying, no feeling sorry for yourself. You know, I may have battled depression. Even that, I had to talk myself through that. You know, I had to pray for myself through that. I had to lay hands on myself through that, you know.
Okay.
But you know, it's like, get it together.
All righty. Wow. So now, is that a hardback, hardcover book or ebook or?
They're all soft cover books.
Okay.
Paperback.
Okay. Okay. And they are available on.
Amazon. Yeah.
Okay.
Just put in
All
Telishia
right.
Berry, you'll find all of our books.
Okay. Telishia, girl, look, I'm like, woo, go ahead with your bad self. And so now, this show is all about relationships.
Mhm.
And with the, uh, I'll say the actresses that you have on your cover, once you reach out to them and they consent, to be in your magazine, do you still have a relationship there with them? Do you maintain relationships with them? Or is this just, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, we may not talk every day or, talk as
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends, but it definitely have a mutual love and respect. I just saw Jody Watley I think it was June. She was the host of the Women Songwriters Hall of Fame, which I was a part of. And so I got a chance to reconnect with her there. And she had recently been on the cover for the second time, just a couple months before that. So I was able to
Mm-hmm.
give her copies and, get a chance to talk with her. And yeah, so we definitely love to, relationships are really super important. After, like a lot of women have been on our cover and, we still communicate, or I'm doing other projects and they're involved in other projects, and, keeping a line of communication, open line of communication that I can call, Vanessa, I've called her on different projects that I've worked on, and she's given me some advice.
Okay.
So it's important to maintain relationships, not just with business relationships, family relationships.
Right.
It's good to make sure that keep in good relationships.
Okay. And you're doing so many things. How do you adjust at your professional life and your personal life? How do you adjust? What do you, so what I'm getting to, what do you, it seems like to me, like you say, you almost work 24/7. So what do you do when you feel like I've got to step away, or do you ever step away? But so what do you do just to center yourself and just get away and just push back a little bit, or do you?
You know, Multiple things. I get in the center of my bed, kick my feet up, and just relax. Because I'm a person don't watch TV a lot. I'll turn on the TV and catch a movie, or just go out with my kids, or just take some time. Now I'm on this 1 day a week self-care. So I want to go to the beach, and I sit there by myself and then just enjoy, the sand and the sky and the sun, and be grateful and talk to the Lord. And I think it's important, especially if you're a busy mom or a entrepreneur, that you take that time for yourself. And I didn't realize that it was so valuable and so needed. You gotta stop and take some time for you. You love on yourself. You know what I mean? Go get your hair done, get your nails done, get your feet done, and go get a massage. And so I'm learning to do more of that. I'm not all the way there yet. I have to be
Okay.
honest. But I am just learning to just, take some time. Just kick your feet up. Go sit on the porch. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
Sit in your backyard, wherever, and just enjoy just some time, just the me time. I enjoy myself, or being with myself.
Okay. When we talk about relationships, I always tell people uh, it's not only your professional relationships and your relationships that you have with other people, but it's also the relationship with yourself.
Right.
And a lot of times we as women in business or entrepreneurs, we have to remember that not only do we give of ourselves to other people, but we have to give ourselves to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard. I know I talk with a lot of women, and it's like, oh, I just don't have any time for myself. I'm doing this, that, and the other. And I tell them, no, you've got to take time
You
for
have to
yourself.
take it. You have
Yes.
to just snatch it. Like
Thank you.
you'll never find the time. You will never find the time. You have to take it.
So now there are probably a lot of women and young ladies who might think about publishing a magazine. As a matter of fact, I thought about it at one time, and I thought, ooh, that's too much work. But but so what advice would you give them? What advice would you give
I definitely would say do some research.
them? Okay.
It's not an easy thing. It may look glamorous, look fun, but it's a lot of work, and it is a business. And so you have to go at it as a business, not just putting your friends on the cover and all that kind of, it is a business. And if you want to be successful, you want to treat it like a business, do your research, do your homework, make sure it's something that you really, really, really in your heart want to do. Because it's a lot. In the beginning, you probably will wear a lot of hats. And it's a tough, it's not easy. But I always say, do your homework first. That's number one. Research and find out everything. I actually have mentored some women on coach some women in starting their publications. So it's
Okay.
definitely something that it's an awesome business. So yeah, if anyone interested in learning that, I absolutely coach women as well.
Okay. So what is your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal is, being an actress in the beginning of, my younger years. I would love to do that again, So we're creating, my daughter and I during the pandemic. I was just feeling like I wanted to, write more. And I was working on a play that I had started many years earlier. And my daughter's like, Mom, what you doing? And I told her about this play because, I love when my kids will they listen to me and my stories. And so she said,
Okay.
"Oh, Mom, that's not a play." And so she's a director. She says, "Mom, that's a web series." So she has taken it and ran with it and developed it into a web series. And so now we're
Really?
working on it. Preparing to cast for a web series. So
Oh my
I'm super excited
goodness.
about that. That is my ultimate goal when I was acting, to act again and to write and produce. So now that is the next journey of my life, is to get back into doing that and see my work on the screen.
That is amazing. That girl, you are courageous. You are
I'm
courageous.
tired. No,
No, you're not. No, you're not.
no,
Because,
God is
honey,
good. God is good.
yes, because you had so much on your plate, so much that you're putting on your plate. And everything that you talked about is like stepping out there, because I see a little somebody.
That's my
Wait a
great.
minute. Wait. It's so weird. When I first saw the little head go back, I thought, who is that in my house? That's
That's
your
my grandboy.
grandbaby.
Yeah, he just woke up, so he's a little out of it.
That's cute. No, but what I was saying is that you're really stepping out there, and that's what I love to hear. That instead of sitting back and saying, "Oh, I don't know, people might not want to see the web series. Oh, I don't know if this is," but you are stepping out there, and you have a lot of faith, and so many women start thinking when they think about something that they want to do that's outside of the box, so to speak.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, they're getting here. Oh, nobody's gonna want to hear that or read that or see that or whatever. But I admire you because I mean you are stepping out there. I love it.
You
I love
gotta step out there. If you want something, it's not coming to the door to get you. You gotta go outside the door and get it. And that's what I encourage women to do. If God puts something on your heart, a business or a book or anything, you gotta go and get it. It's not just going to happen. You gotta make, if God put it on your heart, He gave it to you. He gave you a dream or a vision. Then you gotta take the steps to get it, put the action to it. You got to put the pen to the paper. You got to make it happen. A book cannot write itself. You know what I
very
mean?
true.
You have to do it. If you have a dream, you can't talk. A lot of times, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I've talked myself out of doing things. Like I'm like, okay, that's too big. Like I don't know if I can do that one. But I'm like, you know what? God gave me this. I'm going to at least
Okay.
try. I got to at least
Right.
try. You got to get out there and make things happen. And because I'm inspired by women who do. That's why I started Courageous Woman. I'm inspired by these women that we feature. I'm inspired by their stories. their journeys. And that's why I even started. I was looking for these women who are doing major stuff because I want to do this. Let me see if somebody else has done it, even if they haven't. There's always a trailblazer. Somebody's got to start. There's always a pioneer. You know what I mean? Be the pioneer. Girl,
you inspiring me. Well, I mean, most definitely, you are inspiring me because sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm not going to reach out to that person. They don't know me, or it's just too big. But you have inspired me.
I've been really surprised when I did move on something, or I might have like, I don't know if I should do that one, but some said, go for it. And when you go for it, the results like, yes. So you gotta, you gotta go. Don't talk yourself out of it. We are our worst critics.
Yes, and that's very true. So what actor or actress would you like to work with?
There's so many. I definitely would like to work with Denzel.
I was getting ready to say, wait a minute. I was going to say, I didn't want to say it before you, but I was going to say Denzel.
I mean, it's a lot of major, awesome actresses that I just envision, working with or being part of our projects. We got a list of them for the projects we're working on. We got ideal actresses that we would love to work with. And so absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that in the next journey of my life. So I'm just going to believe.
All right. The Baptist Junkie starring, it's got to be a woman, but co-starring Denzel. And I don't know. I have so many women actresses that I love. What's her name? One that did, what is it, Keith? Murder. You know who I'm talking about. The one that was I'm looking at her face, and
she was a lawyer.
She was the lawyer. She was killing up everybody.
Killing up everybody.
Huh? I can't think of. I'm looking over here.
None of my kids are in the room, so they
okay. I can't think of, and I'm going to think of it. Okay, audience out there. Who am I talking about? Somebody put Tyler Perry. I'm not talking. No, the woman. But yes, Viola Davis. Thank you, Carol.
Oh, okay. Everybody, How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, How to Get Away with Murder. Yeah.
Cool. My daughter worked on that show. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love her. She's a brilliant actress. I would love to work with what's her name? Now you got me messing up names. She played in The Help with Viola. It was her friend in Viola. I have another project that I would love for her to play a role in. I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah, but I know who you're talking about. I can see her face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a lot of them now. It's so many amazing actresses. I would like to create diverse movies and films with, even our publications. So definitely, I would love to work with so many amazing people that I'm praying about.
Okay. Well, I've got one quick commercial I have to do, and then we will be right back with Telishia, the powerhouse. Telishia Berry. When I grow up, Telishia, I want to be just like you.
From right to left, and every angle in between. Know what I mean? In this day and age, so many seem like they're lost inside a world and held captive in a dream. A glimpse of mediocrity, take one for the team. And even though this path is long and this place is unforeseen, gotta keep your feet moving, filling spaces in between, seeing places in your dreams. If you complacent by your means, by all means go back to sleep. The path is steep, there's no rest for the weary. If you intend to reach peaks, it gets deep. Come on, it's infinite, we still climb. time. And yes, y'all. And thanks for the positive vibes. But I still got a mountain to climb. Just take it one step at a time,
I'm gonna
yo.
ball till I fall, gonna ride till I die. I'll never give in, yo, if I wanna survive. Not gonna swallow my pride. I'll never give up, cause when it's all said and done, is what I've done enough. I push myself to the edge, I push myself to the brink. Is the toil all worth it? It makes me stop and think. But through the mud and the mire, the joy and the strife, no one can claim that I didn't live all of this beautiful life.
All right, we are back with Telishia Berry. And Carol, look, Octavia Spencer.
That's it. Thank you, Carol.
And Carol is also an aspiring author, and she's is someone that I know, and she's also a very, very courageous woman. So my last question for you, Telishia, is a question that came in off of another one of these platforms. What would you most want to be remembered for as far as your legacy is concerned?
Well, I would say inspiring people to do and be better, no matter where they are, no matter what they've come from, no matter what age they are, that all things are possible if you just believe it. Just encouraging people. That's what I would love to be remembered for. This woman who was courageous enough to do what she needed to do, but encourage other women along the way.
All righty. Okay. So now if you would like to follow Telishia, and I know that you do, I know you want to. Facebook, just go to Telishia Berry. That's Telishia Berry. And or go to her Instagram page, which is Courageous Woman Mag. And you can also go to her website, which is courageouswomanmag.org.
No, .com.
Where did I get it? Girl, please.
It's courageouswomanmag.com. And also the IG is underscores after each word. So it still may go with just Courageous Woman Mag, but we do have underscores under courageous and under between the word actually. But it's courageouswomanmag.com.
Okay. So I'm going to flip somebody with a wet noodle. Because they didn't do that like they were supposed to. No, I'm not.
It's okay.
Yeah, right. Because we all make little mistakes. So I would just have to, with a wet noodle, of course. But Telishia, thank you so very much for being my guest. You are a courageous woman, and you are an inspiration. I'm not kidding when I say that you have inspired me. I mean, really. I am not kidding. You have inspired me. Really, I am going to step out there and do these things that, back here somewhere, like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because you have proven that, number one, listen. That's number one. Have faith and just step out and just step out. I really admire you. I really appreciate you being my guest. Honestly.
Thank you for having me.
Uh,
It's been my pleasure, a lot of fun. Thank you for allowing me to come and to share and encourage women. That's what it's all about. And don't be afraid. We are like I said, we have our worst critics. Don't criticize yourself. Don't talk yourself out of what God's called you for. That's how we find our purpose, by just walking on through it.
And you're right. So I want you to have out in LA where it's nice and sunny. Go out, girl, sit on your porch, enjoy the rest of the sun, the rest of the day, and have a very blessed rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much again.
And thank you.
All right.
Wow. That was amazing. And she is amazing. And she is right. Step out there. If you have a dream, if you have something that is on the back burner, Sandy, I know you came in and you said the world is waiting. The world is waiting for you. And Carol, I know you got a book that you've been writing for quite some time. And so I'm putting you on blast. Yes, I am. I'm putting you on blast. Hurry up and get that book out because I want to read it. Hurry up. And wait, let me talk to me. And Dr. Jan, get that book out. Get that other book out that you have started and stopped and started and stopped. Get it out. Model yourself after Telishia because she's someone to be modeled after. So I want to thank everyone who's come on my show. I want to thank just my viewers. I really hope that you got a lot out of this. I'm pushing for you to be a courageous woman. And we didn't talk about her man, her magazine, Courageous Man, but I know there's some courageous men out there too. And I want you all to be courageous. So in the meantime and in between time, I'm happy that you're here. And I want all of you to have the rest of your day, morning, afternoon, or evening to be a wonderfully blessed morning, afternoon, or evening. Remember, there are all kinds of relationships. There are all kinds of relationship matters, and relationships do matter. See you next week.